You think the Hubble Telescope shows the universe. You imagine a powerful camera pointed at deep space. Bigger mirror, sharper eyes, better pictures. That picture is wrong. You think Hubble discovered galaxies by finding them, as if they were always there, waiting to be seen, as if distance is just distance, as if looking farther is the same as looking harder. You imagine the universe as a place, and Hubble as a tourist with a zoom lens. This is wrong. You think those famous images are snapshots of reality. Frozen moments, honest records, light arrives, a picture appears, end of story. No. What Hubble actually changed is not what we see. It changed what seeing even means. It didn't just extend vision. It quietly broke the idea that the universe exists in a single, shared now. You think Hubble revealed space. It didn't. It destabilized time. You think a telescope lets you look outward, as if space were arranged like a landscape, near things in front, far things in the back, and all a telescope does is sharpen the view. This is wrong. Nothing about astronomical observation works like looking through a window. Windows show you what exists now. Telescopes never do. When you look at a tree across the street, the delay between the tree and your eyes is so small that your brain ignores it. You treat the tree as present. You experience vision as immediate. This habit does not survive Hubble. Hubble does not look across space. It intercepts light that has been traveling longer than civilizations have existed. Longer than humans have existed. Longer than Earth has existed in its current form. Calling this looking outward is a psychological shortcut. A comforting one, but it hides what is actually happening. You are not seeing objects. You are receiving messages. Each photon reaching Hubble began its journey before your world was recognizable. Not before you were born. Before your planet settled. Before your species learned to look up. So when you say Hubble saw a galaxy, what you really mean is that it caught evidence that something once emitted light. This matters because the act of observing is no longer passive. You are not sampling a static universe. You are sorting through leftovers. The telescope doesn't reach farther. It reaches earlier. This breaks the mental picture of space as a place you can explore by extension. There is no clean direction called out there. There is only deeper into the past, and once you accept that, a subtle shift occurs. You stop thinking of the universe as something laid out in front of you. You begin to realize it is layered behind you. Stacked in time, older the farther you go, Hubble didn't improve our eyesight. It made the delay impossible to ignore. From that moment on, astronomy stopped being about location. It became about archaeology, not of rocks or bones, but of light, and archaeology is never about what is. It is about what was. You still want to believe that an image is a moment, that when Hubble takes a picture, it freezes reality, that the universe briefly holds still for the camera. This instinct comes from everyday vision, from photographs on Earth, from the idea that light arrives quickly enough to be ignored. That intuition collapses in deep space. Hubble does not capture moments. It collects remnants. The light in every Hubble image has already finished its story. Stars that appear stable may already be gone. Galaxies that look young may have grown old. Some may no longer exist in any form you would recognize. This is not a dramatic possibility. It is the default condition. An astronomical image is closer to a fossil than a photograph. A fossil does not preserve the animal. It preserves the fact that the animal once interacted with its environment. A footprint, a shell, a chemical trace. Hubble images work the same way. The glowing spiral you admire is not a structure you are witnessing. It is evidence that, long ago, Matter organized itself in a particular way and released light as a result. That light drifted, unbothered by your future curiosity, unaffected by your eventual instruments. Only at the end of its journey did it become an image. This quietly changes the role of observation. You are not watching events unfold. You are assembling a record from debris. The universe is not performing for you. It is leaving behind clues, and the deeper Hubble looks, the more this becomes unavoidable. Nearby stars feel almost present. Distant galaxies feel ancient. The difference is not cosmetic, it is structural. Because there is no sharp boundary where the present ends and the past begins. The transition is gradual, smooth, relentless. Every increase in distance adds another layer of delay, another slice of time, another missing chapter. So when you look at a Hubble image, you are not seeing what's out there. You are seeing a cross-section of history. Not one era, many. Different parts of the same image belong to different cosmic times. There is no single age stamped on the frame. That means the image itself is internally inconsistent, a collage of events that never coexisted. This is uncomfortable. It should be, because it means the universe, as seen by Hubble, is never a single thing. It is a stratified archive. And archives do not show reality as it is. They show what survived long enough to be recorded. Once you accept that every image is delayed, another expectation quietly fails. You expect that looking deeper should reveal more detail, sharper structure, clearer organization. This is how vision works on Earth. Magnify, a map and roads appear. Zoom in on a surface and texture emerges. Hubble does not reward depth that way. The farther back it looks, the less stable the universe becomes. Galaxies stop behaving like finished objects. They twist, they collide, they tear each other apart. Shapes you learned to recognize begin to fail. Spirals dissolve into clumps. Ellipses fragment into asymmetry. Order gives way to motion. This is not because Hubble's vision degrades. It is because the universe itself changes with time. Nearby space feels calm because it belongs to a late chapter. Structures have had time to settle. Violence has cooled into geometry. But Hubble's deeper images punch through that calm. They reveal a universe mid-construction, unfinished, restless, and this creates a new discomfort. If the universe changes this much with depth, then there is no single cosmic architecture. No final blueprint hiding behind the haze. The shapes you learned are not fundamental. They are temporary solutions. This is the moment where intuition protests. You want galaxies to be things, stable entities you can catalog, name, count, but Hubble shows you something closer to weather. Patterns that exist only because conditions briefly allow them. Structures that form, deform, and dissolve. The deeper you look, the less the word galaxy feels like a noun. It starts to feel like a phase. This forces a reframe. You are not mapping a static universe. You are intercepting snapshots from different stages of a long transformation. There is no true shape hiding underneath. There is only change slowed down by distance. Hubble did not just show that the universe evolves. It made evolution unavoidable. Without it, you could imagine the cosmos as a finished machine. With it, you are confronted with a process. And processes do not sit still long enough to be fully seen. There is a habit you carry without noticing it. You think of distance as geometry. Meters, kilometers, light, years, a ruler stretched across space. Hubble breaks this habit quietly, then completely. Because once delay dominates observation, distance stops meaning far away. It starts meaning long ago. At small scales, this feels like trivia. Light from the sun takes minutes, from nearby stars years, but Hubble pushes this relationship until it snaps your intuition. At cosmic scales you cannot separate where from when. They collapse into the same question: how far is that galaxy? Becomes, how old is the light you're receiving? This is not metaphor. It is operational. Hubble does not arrange objects by location. It arranges them by emission time. Nearby objects belong to the recent universe. Distant ones belong to earlier chapters. Very distant ones belong to eras where familiar structures barely existed. So a Hubble image is not a panorama. It is a timeline laid sideways. Left to right, up to down, the picture quietly moves through history. This is deeply counterintuitive. Your brain wants to believe everything in the frame coexists, that all those galaxies share a common present. They do not. Some parts of the image belong to a universe that had already formed stars like your sun. Other parts belong to a universe still figuring out how to make galaxies at all. They were never neighbors. They never shared a moment, yet Hubble stitches them together as if they did. This forces a dangerous realization. Space is no longer a stage where time plays out. Space is how time is accessed. Distance becomes the only reason the past is visible at all. Without vast emptiness between objects, the universe would have erased its own history. Everything would arrive at once. Nothing would be distinguishable. The void is not absence, it is storage. Hubble did not just measure distance. It converted emptiness into memory. From that point on, the universe could no longer be imagined as a place you occupy. It became something you look through layer by layer, era by era. You expect empty space to be empty. Vast blackness stretching between stars and galaxies. Nothingness waiting patiently for discovery. This intuition is natural, even comforting. It feels like a canvas waiting to be painted. Hubble shatters it. Point the telescope at a patch of sky no wider than a grain of sand held at arm's length. A patch that seems devoid of stars. A patch that your intuition insists is simple, unpopulated, nothing. The deep field emerges. Thousands of galaxies, each one a glowing record of events billions of years ago. Each one a miniature universe with its own history. The void you expected is gone. The emptiness was an illusion. And here is the deeper shock. Some of these galaxies formed when the universe itself was still young. Some may have already vanished by the time their light arrived. Some may never have existed in any recognizable form again. Hubble exposed a cosmic density that your senses and your mind refuse to anticipate. The universe is crowded, not only with objects, but with history itself. Each photon is a surviving fragment of events that would otherwise have been lost. The deep field is a paradox. It is a tiny corner, yet it contains almost everything the telescope could hope to find. It is profoundly small, yet it is overwhelmingly full. This observation teaches something subtle and uncomfortable. Empty space is not empty. Time is not optional. Looking is never passive. And even the most barren, looking point in the sky hides complexity beyond comprehension. Hubble did not just find galaxies. It forced a confrontation with expectation. It showed that what you consider nothing may contain the most evidence of everything. And when the universe refuses to hold still, refuses to be empty, refuses to exist in a single moment, your certainty about the cosmos begins to erode. You carry a quiet assumption that the universe has a single now, a cosmic heartbeat, a universal present. Your intuition demands it. Every clock you own ticks in sync with your experience. Every sunrise and sunset confirms it. Hubble shows this is wrong. Each photon that arrives has traveled across different epochs. Some have left galaxies when they were newborn. Others began their journey when stars were dying. All converge on the telescope at once. There is no shared moment. No cosmic synchronization. No master clock coordinating the universe. Your mind protests. You want events to coexist. You want structures to be contemporaries. You want the universe to be a stage. It is not. Hubble stitches together fragments of incompatible times. What you see in a single image is a patchwork, a tapestry of histories that never overlapped, a meeting of events separated by billions of years. And yet it arrives as one frame, one instant. Your brain fights to unify it. It wants a narrative that fits. But the universe refuses to cooperate. Time, as Hubble presents it, is local, fragmented, and relative. There is no this second across all of space. Every point is its own now, every photon a relic of its own past. This is unsettling, because you realize that the cosmos is never a single present. You are never witnessing a shared moment of existence. You are only receiving echoes, delayed by distance, distorted by motion, and filtered by history. Observation is no longer a window. It is a reconstruction, a delicate inference stitched from fragments that cannot coexist. Hubble forces this confrontation. It reveals a universe that has no global clock, no simultaneous consensus. A universe where each region marches to its own rhythm, and your attempts to unify them are always provisional. In this cosmos, time is not universal. It is local, it is layered, it is fractured, and that fracture is not a defect. It is the true nature of cosmic observation. You imagine seeing as simple, light travels, eyes receive it. You interpret, done, reality appears before you, neatly packaged. Hubble shows this is a lie. Every photon it collects is a message from a past you cannot inhabit. Every image is a reconstruction from fragments scattered across billions of years. There is no instantaneous truth, no untouched present, no direct witness. Seeing is no longer passive. It is an act of inference, a dialogue with absence, a negotiation with time itself. When you look at a Hubble image, you are not closer to reality. You are farther from immediacy. You are not touching the universe. You are interpreting its leftovers. And yet, in this very incompleteness, something profound emerges. You realize that knowing is not the same as touching, that observation is not possession, that reality does not yield to expectation. The universe is neither simple nor complete. It is stratified, it is layered, it is fugitive. Hubble teaches you that the cosmos is always more than your senses can hold, that what you see is a stitched-together record, an intricate collage of beginnings and endings, light and absence, structure and collapse. And in that recognition lies awe, not the awe of mastery, not the awe of explanation, but the awe of being confronted with something fundamentally larger than any intuitive framework. To see truly is to accept that reality cannot be fully possessed, that every glimpse is provisional, every observation a dialogue with what was, not what is. Hubble does not show the universe, it shows the limits of seeing. And in those limits, it invites you to reconsider what it means to witness existence at all. The cosmos is not a stage. It is an archive, and through it you glimpse the profound strangeness of simply being aware.